Okay, auto start is on. That's alrighty then. Eh. Oh my god. Okay, desktop audio off. Boom. DS open. Great. Back. Did I set up my keybind to? I have it on the controller somewhere, I think. There we go. There it is. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Actually works pretty well. That's a reasonable volume, I think. We'll find out. Ho ho ho. Okay. I was just thinking about the new Ace Attorney game coming out, and I figured to play the new one, I'd have to finish this one, so I'm doing that. Okay, March 14th, 7:44 p.m. Theatrum Neutralis lobby. So, I know it's been a while. If you need to catch up, we're in the embassy for a country that's split in two, but kept the same embassy building for when they split in two, and split the embassy building in two, which is really weird, but whatever. What the hell was that? Oh my god, it's the army. Count off. One. 1. Shifu, 99 callouts. So all 99 members are most likely here and accounted for, sir. Hey, you. Yeah, you, the second number one from my right. Sir, yes, sir. Here, a birthday present for you. What? Shifu, I didn't know that you knew all of our birthdays. What a kind heart you have. Shifu, you are more of a man than we'll ever be, sir. I'm really sorry, but it's not my birthday. Lang Z says, a cub who disrespects others soon feels the disciplinary bite of an elder. That present isn't for you. It's for your younger brother's wife's younger brother. Your younger brother's wife's younger brother. Tell him I said hi, and happy birthday, won't you? Yes, sir. Shifu, I can't believe you remember that much about each of us. Shifu, I'm so moved that I can't stop crying. I should probably leave them to their alone time. Alright, meeting's over, everyone. Head for your posts. This is such a good song. All the music in this game is... I don't know why I say this game. Every Ace Attorney game's music is always great. Like, it's not exclusive. Yo, were you guys here the whole time? Were you guys there the whole time? I got a call from Sheena and she's already filled me in. Sounds like you're out to get in my way again. I have absolutely no intention of interrupting your investigation. I simply request that you grant me permission to investigate the Okay, the Alabastinian embassy. And what if I say no? Agent Lang, this man is my subordinate. As I have received permission from the ambassador, he is to be extended the same rights. Sorry, sis, but it's not that simple. Alabasta has the strictest immigration regulations in the world, or didn't you know? Even among my elite men, only about half of them were admitted into the country. Besides, any more cooks in the kitchen, and we might spoil the soup if you get what I mean. How dare you make such assumptions? Don't take this the wrong way. But I thought I was in charge of Alabast, Miss Von Karma. Look, try to understand, okay? Things over in Alabasta are a bit of a mess right now. What do you mean by a bit of a mess? No one told you? We had an incident in Alabasta as well. Didn't we hear about this already? This is what we call a decision based on the investigation, Mr. Prosecutor. Look, Wolfie, just let us in already. What the... Who's it gonna be? I sure hope Phoenix walks it. Nah, who is this? Is it gonna be that... Oh, what's her name? That fucking... girl. That we just, like... Oh, nope, never mind, just random people. Cool. Is there a problem here, Mr. Lang? Not really, just having a discussion about whether or not to let these guys in. Ambassador Alba, I ask that you please allow these people to join the investigation. Having a debate because of my country? I'm terribly sorry for placing you good people in that kind of situation. Is it all because I lack the strength to govern well? Please, there's nothing of the sort, Ambassador. You weakling, Kirkus! Curse your frailty and inability to effect change in your country. What did you... The thing is, investigations conducted in my country have been under Agent Lang. And it is my judgment that in order to minimize disruption in the investigation, I should leave everything up to Agent Lang. There, you see? Oh, no way. What the... Who the fuck are you? Jesus Christ. This game needs to calm down. Okay, I definitely had a voice for this guy, but I don't care. Ambassador Alba, I ask you please reconsider letting them into Alabast. What's that? My very own secretary has been murdered in the Balbalese embassy. And he was apparently caught up in some very shady dealings completely unbeknownst to me. So I ask for your cooperation in our investigation. These aren't much, but I hope they can cover your travel expenses to Babal someday. Alright, I get it. Even if you beg Ambassador Alba, I still have to give you the final okay anyway. Alright, you hear that, Mr. Edgeworth? We're in. Not so fast, my little crow girl. You're still a witness in the Babal murder, so I'd like you to please stay in the Republic of Babal. Detective Gumshoe, please take good care of Kay for me. Yes, sir. Sound good to me. Fewer troublemakers, the better. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth. Yes? So I wanted to ask for a while now, but... That lady over there, is she who I think she is? Ah, that's right. I didn't introduce the two of you yet. Franziska von Karma, the prosecutorial prodigy. It's nice to see you again. Oh, I knew it. You're the whip lady. You may address me as Miss von Karma. Miss von Karma, I leave the investigation of Alabast in your hands. Thanks. Rest assured I will outsmart both the smuggling ring and the Adigarazu. Smuggling ring, huh? Perhaps I should ask Franziska a bit more about them before I head into Alabast. Ah, and I mustn't forget to thank Ambassador Polino for all that he's done for me. Okay, so we were just told pretty directly who to talk to. Yo, what's up, man? Ambassador Polino, I'm in your debt. No, it's nothing. Because it's about all I can do for you, I'm afraid. I only ask that you please bring Manny's killer to justice. I will, Ambassador, on my honor. Wow, you're so sensational. You really piqued my curiosity. I know they aren't much, but know that I'm giving them to you wholeheartedly. No, that's quite alright. Oh well. How about this then? And what exactly is it? It's fountain pen ink. Known as Babalese ink, it's made exclusively in Babal. So this is Babalese ink? We make it from white crystal oil, which is mined through our mineral mines. Please accept this ink. One dip of your fountain pen in this, and you can write for hours in your organizer. How fortunate for me, the ink in my pen just happens to have run out. I gladly accept your gracious gift. Great, wonderful. I guarantee you that writing with our ink is an unforgettable experience. And since we don't export it, if you run out, you're always welcome to come back and visit our fair nation. Talk about cornering the customer along with the market. Yo, Bonnie, what up, bro? You've made so much progress in your investigation in such a short period of time. Really amazing. Agent Hicks, whose help I had requested, was cut down before he completed his task. There's no room for further failure in my perfect investigation. In spite of that, I believe you were able to obtain some insight into the ring, correct? It was nothing. I simply made some deductions based on the smuggled item I was following. You mean the Babalese ink? But why are there restrictions on the export of Babalese ink to begin with? That's classified Interpol info. Franziska, as your subordinate, I'm a part of your investigation now. Don't you think it would be beneficial if I was as well informed as you? Point taken. Very well, I'll fill you in. Recently, we discovered some very well-made counterfeit bills circulating in Zenfa. Counterfeit bills? Yes. As you may have deduced, the counterfeits are being made with Babyliss special Babyliss ink, and it's virtually impossible to distinguish bills made with Babyliss ink from real ones. Thus, it was only natural for Interpol to keep an eye on the Republic of Abao. That's where this document comes into play, correct? Correct. Mr. Kochan was smuggling large amounts of Babyliss ink. Furthermore, he was charged with running the embassy's printing equipment. That's all the evidence I need to know that he was the head of the smuggling ring. However, there remains one tiny problem. Let me guess, you still have to find the counterfeit bills or the smuggling? Yes, and while we're listing things, I might as well add the counterfeit plates to the pile, since we haven't been able to locate any of those items in the Babyliss embassy. We're looking into the Alabastian embassy next. It doesn't matter where they're hidden, mark my words, I will find them. Very well, shall we get going? What's wrong, Kay? I didn't get permission to enter Alabast. So we're gonna go gather whatever info we can over on the Babyliss side, okay? Alright, I'm counting on you two. Right, and I'm counting on you and Miss Von Karma to snip out clues in Alabast. Oh, and Mr. Edgeworth, if you happen to come across my phony, you let me know, okay? If you tell me, I'll rush on over straight away, no matter where you are. I'll let you know when the time comes. How would we let her know anyways? We don't have... Does she have a phone? March 14th, 8:17 p.m. Alabastinian Embassy. Alabastian Embassy. I'm gonna keep saying Stinian, I feel like it's easier. Alabastian Embassy. Ambassador's office. Hmm? What the... What do you think you're doing to my subordinate? Is it Larry? I fucking hope it's Larry. You're... Angie, oh thank heavens you're here! I'm in a really, really big pickle, your lordship. The raven, it appeared, poof, and then disappeared, swoosh. And though I have the steel samurai, my sword, it... Wow, I'm so confused. I don't know what anything means anymore. Who's this fruitcake? I'm Larry of the House of the Butts, married man of Neil and Tokyo, milady. Now I remember. This person is one of your friends, isn't he, Miles? Yes, frighteningly enough, he is. Hey, what's up with that answer? Your best bud is in a bind, and you can't act like it's no, and you act like it's no big deal. What sort of bind are we talking about here? The suspect kind. I accidentally became a suspect in a murder. I see, that is quite the bind. Not that we're the least bit surprised. Yeah, I pretty much expected this news. From the instant I saw this unlucky face. His name is Larry Butts. I've known him since grade school, and for as long as I've known him, he has been the world's largest source of trouble with a capital T. Hey, what kind of introduction is that? You're so mean, Edgy. If you're not careful, you might find your tiny number of friends go down by one. That was uncalled for. Besides, you're... Wait, hold on. Larry, it was you! You're the one who wrote my Steel Samurai autograph? Hmm? Oh, you didn't notice earlier? I even winked at you through my headpiece. What's going on? And why are you beat red? Sorry, but could you not speak to me right now? Oh, sorry, am I interrupting your comical yet melodramatic play? Yeah, you kinda are, actually. Aha, so this is the incident you mentioned earlier. Mr. Prosecutor, this man, this childhood friend of yours, is our prime suspect. Of what, you ask? Of the murder of a man who has snuck into this embassy, masked and masked to... What the f... Okay, sometimes this game goes a little bit too hard on the references. Snuck into this embassy, mask star to mask 2. Mask to mask 2? What the f... Only Larry could get himself into another mess as fine as this. But no matter what the facts seem to say, Larry is not the type to commit murder. Still, it's a rather daunting stroke of misfortune I've struck. I have to prove that Larry Butts is innocent of all wrongdoing. Shifu, we've identified the victim. Good work. I'll take that report now. Agent Lang, would you mind if I took a peek at it as well? What did I tell you earlier, Mr. Prosecutor? Don't get in my way. There's only enough flesh here to feed one wolf, and that one is me. So no, you may not take a peek. But Agent Lang... Oh my god! Oh my god! It's that guy! Holy... They had the same voice last time, so I'm gonna have to change it a little bit. Or maybe I won't. Okay. Agent Lang. Will you allow an investigator such as myself to take a look? Ah, yes, of course. You, let the detective see the file. You're Detective Bad. You're the prosecutor, Mr. Edgeworth, right? Fancy meeting you here, Detective. You weren't expecting me? Ever since that day 7 years ago, I've chased after the Yatagarasu non-stop. I've been pressured Interpol into keeping me in the loop, in case a card was ever found. What incredible dedication to the case. Detective Bad knows the Yatagarasu's MO very well, and his passion for the chase hasn't died down in these 7 long years. It's something I can respect. But Detective Bad, I must ask, are you gonna make an ally out of this prosecutor? My only goal is to arrest the Yatagarasu. If he can get to the bottom of this case, then I'm willing to share info with him. I'm in your debt, Detective Bad. About the murder of Damask 2, would you be willing to fill me in on a few of the details? When the Yatagarasu showed up, Agent Lang and I took ourselves off. When the Yatagarasu showed up, Agent Lang and I took ourselves off guard duty and put ourselves in charge of directing things at this crime scene, taking advantage of the chaos. Damask 2, he broke into this embassy, probably to steal some treasure or another. And I suppose he lost his life when he was forced to fight someone else in this room. Why exactly was that man placed under arrest, Detective? That samurai? He was born to look suspicious, but not for the reasons you suspect, I assure you. As you can plainly see, he is completely harmless. Well, it was just a random guess. It's not like he's actually under arrest. Tonight, here at the Alabastinian Embassy, Ambassador Alba was to give a commemorative speech. And that's when the Yatagarasu showed. But keep in mind, the Yatagarasu isn't who I'm talking about right now. Those seats, for the guests who had been called to sit in them, were empty. A no-show? Who was it that failed to take their seat? The Steel Samurai. Until the speech was to begin, each member of the entire Steel Samurai family was to wait in a separate room. However, for some weird reason, that man was spotted in a different location than his assigned room at that time. And where was he? He was on the roof, with one of his legs down a chimney. That chimney leads directly into this room. Ugh. Larry Butts, you really outdone yourself this time. What were you thinking? In any case, I believe it's time for me to start my investigation. Okay, we have no logic. Alright. Proof of my profession. Yeah, okay. Oh. Okay, that's important to note. The knife was from Alabast. Sorry, I forgot how to play the game. It's an engraving of the national symbol of the Kingdom of Alabast, which is a flower. Though hidden by the handle, it shows that the knife was conceived in patriotism. Okay. It's also a key/knife. Both countries claim to own the real one. Okay, noted also. Doc relating to smuggling of Abilese ink. It appears to point to Mr. Cochin. Okay. Alright. Well, let's start looking around, I guess. We should look at these. Okay, well, I guess we should look at this body first. So this is the victim, Damask 2. What is with this gaudy outfit? You don't know? About Master Mask? A few months ago, this thief caused a lot of havoc on the populace. So this thief is separate from the Yatagarasu? I thought they were for a while, because their ammo and targets were different. Damask collects high-value trinkets and jewels, and being gaudy is his signature. Gumshoe was in charge of that investigation, so he'd know more about Damask. That's alright, I'd probably hear our tales of his failure anyway. You haven't changed a bit, I see. In any case, let's get started here, shall we? I won't rest until it's okay yet. Whatevs. Okay, yeah. So this is the murder weapon in this case. There's blood on the blade. It's a rather sweeping sword, isn't it? What did you expect? It's Steel Samurai's daddy's secondary weapon. I only call it his secondary because although he uses his sword in most of his battles, it's his trusty samurai spear that he turns to in a real fight. You should know quite a bit about the Steel Samurai. Only because I saw the stage show earlier. The owner of the sword is the Steel Samurai, or in other words, Larry. I should probably ask him about it, as detrimental as it is to proving him innocent. There's not a single shred of fashion sense in Damask's costume. Well, at least I can appreciate the great effort he must have put into making it. You two don't know, you can buy this costume almost anywhere now. It's being sold? Since when? Since around New Year's. The streets are practically flooded with them. Turns out Damask is a lot more popular than I thought he'd be. Can't believe that foolish fool would dress in fool's clothing to ask foolishly. We got your point about 3 foolishes back, Franziska. I thought Damask had quit the business. This guy, he's just a copycat using the name, a phony successor. He's just another petty thief. His real identity is an out-of-work guy by the name of Kashinu. He's 29 and wanted on larceny charges. From his clothes and what he was carrying, we determined that this guy is the real Damask too. The cause of death appears to be the loss of blood from the back of his head. It seems he was struck with something very hard. In other words, he was bludgeoned to death. Well, how does that work with the sword? Also, shouldn't that be like a logic point? What is he holding? It looks like a piece of paper from a notepad. It would appear the directions on how to reach this room were written by hand. There is something written on the back as well. I'd like you to steal the Primadux statue in this room. What is that supposed to mean? Who writes a note to themselves like that? If I had to guess from the text, I would say this is actually a request from someone about what to steal. Just who is the person that requested the theft of the Primadux statue? Larry, there are a few things I need to ask you about. Hey, how about that? I got a few things I gotta ask you, too. What is it? It's like, both you and him. How is it that the two of you always managed to have some cuter hot girl by your side? And Franzi, what about that promise you made to me? Promise? What promise? The one where you said you'd model for my next book, Franzi's Whippity Whip Trip. Yeah. I made no such promise. Ever since grade school, we've had a certain saying about Larry. When something smells, it's usually the butts. One needs to look no further than this man to find the king of troublemakers. Alright. Oh shit, hang on. Oh my god. As I recall, aren't you calling yourself Loris Donim now? That's Donim. Loris Donim. Get that straight in your head, Edgy. Ow, ow, ow. Now I remember. You're that rude, pale imitation of a real artist. No, you've got it all wrong. I gave up on that whole Loris business. Besides, when Evangelina left me in my heart in pieces... Oops. That's when Mindy walked into my life. She's been so good to me that I wanted to help her in some way. And I figured I could through the Steel Samurai outfit. Your inane blathering makes less and less sense each time we meet. I believe he's saying that he picked up this part-time job as a Steel Samurai so that he may attempt to capture the heart of the actress who plays the Pink Princess. You got it. I know you know what I meant, Edgy. Not really. It's not so much as I understood. But a simple deduction based on your usual modus operandi, Larry. Larry, I'd like you to confess right now to everything you did tonight. Confess? Hey, don't tell me you suspect me too! Nonsense. I don't believe you had the mental acuity needed to plan and execute a murder. However, we are talking about you here, so I find it hard to believe that nothing happened. Her past experience has taught me that you are always at the center of some insane event. Edgy, how can you be so mean with stabbing me with your words like that? Unfortunately, I don't have the time to search out a key to unlock your heart this time, so I suggest that you cooperate and tell me what you know. Okay, I get it. Just stop Franzi from whipping me from behind. So I guess you know what I did, right, Edgy? I can't even begin to imagine, however. I imagine that whatever you were up to was probably beyond my imagination. You will tell me what exactly you did, Larry. Nope, not yet, Edgy. I'll take it more than that to loosen my lips. A lot more. Confess, now. Okay, well, I was up on the roof. And why exactly were you up on the roof? Oh, you know, that wintry custom and the legendary hero? Legendary? Hero? Santa Claus! Santa? Claus? I wanted to do that thing he does, so I climbed to one of the chimneys. But when I got there, there was smoke pouring out of the chimney. Oh. And? Well, I couldn't go down the chimney with smoke coming up, right? So I gave up. Larry, you do realize that Santa Claus does not exist, right? Of course I know, I didn't graduate from junior high, you know. And you should also understand this. If Santa was real, he would be the biggest unlawful trespasser in history. Ah, crud. If it is your attempt to imitate Santa that has landed you as the prime suspect in this murder. Come on, man, what's so wrong with pretending to be Santa? Let's start with the fact that it will be the idea... Wait, what? It'll be the Ides of March in a matter of hours? Santa only visits home on... Oh! Santa only visits homes on December 24th. That's in December, you nitwit. No! Hey, wait a sec. We're not in court. Larry, about the samurai sword that was used as a murder weapon. Oh, that. Well, I shook hands with the ambassador in this room, you know. Yes, apparently you did. And I totally forgot about it and left it behind when I left afterwards. You want to talk about shock? I was the most shocked of all when I heard it killed someone. Oh my god. Shocked. Foolish fool, looking especially foolish for foolishly stating such a foolish excuse. You forgot to take something that big with you? Who would believe such a tale? Sorry, Miss Von Karma, but I believe him. Because if anyone could forget something like that, it would be Larry. Edgy, you believe me. I just knew that our friendship was something special. Anyway, even if Larry had suddenly forgotten the sword and left you behind, that in no way clears his name. Which means that I'll have to prove his innocence from a different angle. Okay. I want to go deal with these handles, because there are some weapons on display on this wall. A crossbow, and under that, a set of knives bearing a flower motif. They must be the counterparts to the Babyliss knives. Which means that the blades inside these scabbards should match the blade that was used to kill Mr. Cochin. That's some solid logic. Okay, first of all, this spear is bent. It's the Steel Samurai's primary weapon, the Samurai Spear. Isn't it awesome? I totally fell for this thing. It's sleek and shiny just like my heart. It cuts at you like whoosh. When you hold it, you just want to live life like bam. You do well to watch what you say, Larry. Although it is just as Larry says, the spear is quite the symbol of valor. However, speaking of spears, aren't you supposed to use them by thrusting the point straight into your opponent? I'm not entirely convinced the spear is up to the task. What's wrong, Edgy? You're just staring off into the distance. Oh, I get it. Tell you what, I'll tell the studio to make you one, okay? But this one's mine. Did I say something about wanting one? Maybe I can shut him up if I show him the piece of evidence that will point something out about his spear. I mean, it's bent. I don't really know what evidence I have to... What does it being bent have to do with anything? Oh, is it... Hang on. The guy who just died, he was hit over the head, wasn't he? But we don't have that information. Larry, about this spear. Oh, are you feeling it? Bam! I thought there was something strange about this spear. Tell me, Larry, is it just me or is the spear a bit bent? What? No way, it's exactly as it should be, yo! I have here an autograph you wrote for me earlier. Now take a good look at this way you drew your own spear, that you drew with your own hands. You can see that the spear is clearly of a different shape. Ah! What do you have to say to that? I'm sorry. When I hold the spear in my hands, all of a sudden I feel super powerful. And then, during practice, I was spinning it around and around, and bam, it hit the wall. You unbelievable, this is an embassy. But I've always been like that, ever since I was a kid. One time on an overnight field trip, I bought a fake sword and played with it late that night. I'm just a useless hot-blooded man. Larry, clarify that for me, will you? Okay, so it was some field trip and I began to shadow fight with myself. Not that, I meant what you said earlier about spinning the spear and hitting the wall. Oh, that. It's no biggie, it's not like I left a hole or anything. That's not why I'm asking, Larry. The samurai spear is made of metal. I somehow doubt that a move as simple as spinning it around would cause it to bend. Man, Edgy, you're so naive. Where did that come from? Well, you keep calling it the samurai spear. But it's not real, you can't really fight someone with it. Because it's hollow on the inside. You could hit it against practically anything and it would bend. Is that so? Don't tell me you thought it was real. Oh, but don't take this the wrong way, I just think your part of your personality is cute. I see, your friendship truly is something special, Miles Edgeworth. That's not friendship, it's utter humiliation. Okay, spear's bent, fascinating. Knives, hello. Knives adorned with flowers on display here. I suspect these are the counterparts to the Babyliss knives. Blades of these knives should match the blades of the knife that killed Mr. Cochin. But they don't. What? One of the knives is missing its blade! Oh wait, never mind. Let's see if the two pieces of the blade and fan will hit each other. It would appear that they fit together quite well, almost seamlessly. And this means that an Elvistinian knife did find its way into a bow. But how? Okay, noted. I guess. Why is there a weapon on display in a place like this? I wonder why there are no whips on display here. I can spot absolutely no difference between this Prime Deck statue and Bibal's. The statue's face looks a bit like that costume hero you like so very much. I only wonder why you Americans have such an affinity for this kind of face. The statue wasn't made by an American, you know. At least I don't suppose so. Is that everything? There was the exact same statue sitting in that Babyliss office we examined. It's the Prime Oak statue. It was the national treasure of the Principality of Codopia. There was only one of these statues, meaning that one of the two is a replica. But both Alabaster and Mabal claim to have the real one. What an incredibly childish fight to have. I don't see what there is to investigate on this. It's a Prime Oak statue. There was one of these on the Babyliss side as well. I hear it's very valuable and made of pure gold. It was the national treasure of Codopia. There was only one of these statues. Meaning that one of the two is a replica. Yeah, we already heard this. Both Alabaster and Mabal claim they're the real thing, and one bunch from their claim. What an incredibly childish fight to have. That's a pear. The counterpart to the Babyliss butterfly is the Alabastinium flower. The butterfly and flower, they're both lovely things. But can we interpret this to mean that Alabaster provides honey to Mabal? Friends, you can't come up with a more meaningful or profound comment? Very well, then let's hear what sort of profound comment you can come up with. Well, flowers cannot survive without the butterflies that spread their pollen, and butterflies cannot live without the nectar that flowers provide. If either one were to disappear from the equation, neither would survive. How's that, Miss Karma? Your explanation took so long that I nearly fell asleep. Let's continue the investigation. Friends, why can't you just admit I had something there? Okay, so we got this guy, pear, knives. There was almost the exact same wall mount for the knives on the Babyliss side. But I can't see any of the details from this distance. Yeah, okay. Okay, here we have... Oh, wait. We have the fact that the fire was on. And it now clearly isn't. It's a fireplace, and by the looks of it, I don't think it's been used recently. Yes, I can't say that I see anything unusual about it. Well... Dude, why is there a fucking tree in here? Two gorgeous flowers are in full bloom here, and circle flowers as lovely as these must have an equally as lovely name. Miles Edgeworth, are you done staring? I hardly think passion flowers are all that rare. Passion flowers? That's a rather unusual name. It was named by priests in the 15th century for the Passion of Christ. As they say, you learn something new every day. Okay, that's definitely going to be important later. Obs. The person shaking hands with the Steel Samurai in this picture is Ambassador Alba. It was taken just before the murder. Steel Samurai must be very popular. They're even using the National Treasure as backdrop. I just don't understand. What exactly is so great about Top not there? Clearly there's a depth to the show that isn't a young person like you can't fathom. Speaking of young people, aren't young children the target audience of this show of costumed actors? Alright. You did some investigating over in the Babyliss embassy too, right? I did, is there a problem? Lang Zi says a wolf who aims to hunt for two rabbits at once. I believe the idiom you require is he who runs after two hares will catch neither. Yeah, a real wolf can catch both. I see, so what are you trying to say, seeing as how I'm currently handling two cases? Suit yourself, but don't say I didn't warn you. I might go get pizza for dinner, that would be kind of fun. I kind of want to eat soon, I might stop streaming. We haven't even done our first investigation yet, so I feel like there's going to be a lot left in this part. I'm sorry, I'm using the walkthrough, I just want to... Oh my god, I forgot there's 7 parts to this case, Jesus Christ. Oh my Christ, there's so many things to figure out. Ah, what? Sorry, okay, I just looked at the walkthrough and this is what we have to do. This is really weird. We have to deduce it with the photo. Look at this photo, and what do you tell me? What do you find odd about this scene, Miss Von Karma? The apparent joy on the ambassador's face as he shakes the top-knot's hand. That's not it. I was trying to point out the statue in the photo is facing a different way. You're right. The statue is a national treasure. As such, only an ambassador or secretariat-level person is allowed to handle it. The fact that the statue is facing one way in this photo, and now it's facing a different direction in this photo, preserved crime scene, is proof that someone's touched the statue around the time of the crime. I guess that about wraps up my investigation. That's... Yo, Pink Princess, how you feeling? Still feeling ill? And yet another strange character comes out of the woodwork. And so the Pink Princess also comes to pay the Alabastinian Embassy a visit. I believe I may need to speak with her as well. Miss Pink Princess, I have a few questions I'd like to ask you. Miss Pink Princess, if you would please answer. Me? Ah, this must be what they call fate. How could this happen 2 days in a row? What the? Aren't you Miss Oldbag? Why are you so surprised? Ah, so you're the one that got to play the Steel Samurai. It's too bad I didn't realize that until now. You are acquaintances with Larry? Why, yes, we worked at the same company for a little while, you know. That's why it's okay, my edgy poo. You don't need to be jealous. I was the next room, you know, trying to get some beauty sleep. But it was so noisy that I couldn't fall asleep, so I came over to complain. So imagine my shock when I saw my precious edgy poo waiting here for me. I mean, who could have imagined that you would ever come to a show like this? I guess I misjudged you, edgy poo. You misjudged him? I thought he was trying to avoid me, you know. There was no misjudgment on your part. That's precisely what I was trying to do. But it looks like the winds have shifted and he's now willing to be chased after. I'm simply overwhelmed. Don't you worry, edgy poo. I'd chase you for forever, to the ends of the earth. Isn't that just peachy? This is one of those rare times when Franziska and I actually see eye to eye. Now then, what are you doing here? I thought you were working at Gatewaterland as the Pink Badger. What are you talking about? That was ages ago. That was yesterday. Look, I worked at Global Studios before, a long time ago, right? Well, they called me up this morning, kind of out of the blue, actually. Apparently, the girl who plays the Pink Princess collapsed from a bad cold. It happened so suddenly, so they called me in to be her last-minute replacement. Do they not have enough people and staff at that studio? I really couldn't say no, so here I am, playing the role of the heroine. Instead of that Mindy girl, I mean. But the poor girl, I feel bad for her. Because they let me stand in for her, she's gonna have a terrible time when she returns. I mean, I'm not going to read that strange font he's supposed to read standing at the last second for a triple of a true ragdoll and said the tricky hits the rest, and the audience was in an uproar, but I beg rights, I'll tell you, because they're really just a bunch of simpletons. You're a rather lively old lady. So basically you received the standing request this morning, correct? You got it. If you need to see it, I've got it right here. Look. It appears that she is telling the truth. I tell you, my fine acting moved the entire audience to tears. Yes, tears of laughter, as I recall. Oh, being famous has its problems too, you know. Here, take a look at this. It's a letter from a stalker. I was just taking my break when I found this stuck under the door to my room. Honestly, you really have to watch out for these kind of things. Look at what it says. Wendy, I'll be descending on you from above tonight. Your loving night. How absolutely revolting. Why does her name have an accent on it? I mean, you think you get my name right. There's no accent on my name. Wait, this horrible handwriting. Where have I seen this before? Ah, but now you're here, edgy poo. I feel 100% safe. Where do I factor into this? You'd bust that evil stalker man for my sake, wouldn't you? We're just taking on like 30 cases at a time here, aren't we? We have 2 murders we need to solve. We have... we need actually 4. We need to find the Yagarazu. That's our entire reason for being here. There's 2 murders happening, and now this. Well, if you allow me the liberty to handle this in my own way, I'll gladly dispatch a detective to your house later. Oh, come on, edgy poo. Stop being so dismissive and playing hard to get. Okay. What were you doing at the time of the crime? What crime? What? Wait, sorry, one sec. Okay, this is actually not super long, so I think I might just... Yeah. Okay. After the show was over, I had nothing but free time on my hands, so I used the fireplace in the room next door to keep my bad hip warm. Well, a murder occurred in the room right next to yours. Is that right? Oh, Edgy-Poo, I'm so scared. Hold me, caress me. If you could please not cling on to my personage. In any case, I take it that you failed to show up at Ambassador Alba's speech? Oh, that. No, I didn't go. I mean, I may have the heart of a young tender maiden, but my body just refuses to cooperate at the times. As soon as the show ended, my hip started acting up and got stiff. I couldn't move at all. Can you provide proof of your condition? Oh, you just go ahead and act at Doskus in the infirmary. They're the ones who carried me from the theater all the way to this embassy. I have to admit, the thought of her not being able to leave that room is rather pleasant. Oh my god. Prosecutor Von Kalmar, I brought the police dog as you requested, sir. Good work, you might leave now, officer. This dog. I requested the assistance of a dog in our search for the Edgaratsu. Looks like you guys have some pretty bright dogs in this country, too. Woof woof. It's Missile. Hey, you're a real cutie, aren't you? Yeah, that's a good boy. That's the police dog Gumshoe's been taking care of. I think its name is Missile. What a fitting name for a police dog that dashes out in front and attacks. That action alone isn't exactly what's going to solve the case for us, you know. Now, Missile, I want you to find some clues. Go. That's not how dogs work. You don't just tell them to find— What the fuck? That actually worked? Good dog, you really are quite bright, aren't you? Unlike a certain someone I know. Now, what do we have here? What is that? It looks like a small hot dog, but... wait, Franziska, isn't that an official samurai dog? Ah, no! Bad Missile! He ate it. I wonder if it's alright for him to eat that. If it's just a meat substance snack featuring the Steel Samurai, I'm sure it'll be fine. It's quite a bit of information you gathered there in a single quick glance. We should really be focusing on why there was a samurai dog in there in the first place. Looks like that snack wasn't all Missile found. What do we have here? It appears to be a lady's undershirt. I wonder if Ambassador Alba might have an interesting cross-dressing. I somehow doubt that. It doesn't look like the shirt would even fit him. A samurai dog and a lady's undershirt. What are these two items doing in a room like this? Given the circumstances, the lady's undershirt can only belong to one person. I suppose I should get this over with and ask the owner of said undershirt about it. What, old bag? Okay, well, first of all... There's no trace of this room's fireplace being used. And your point is? Smoke was supposedly pouring out of the chimney connected to this fireplace. At least according to Larry. This is a contradiction of facts, is it not? Are you sure he wasn't just disoriented or something up on that roof? There's testimony from an investigator that puts Larry at this particular chimney. So no, I don't think it was a mistaken impression on Larry's part. On the other hand, the fireplace in the next room was being used at the time. Where do you suppose the smoke from that fireplace went? Ah, I see. So what you're proposing is this. The smoke that came out of the chimney was actually from Miss Oldbeck's fire. So basically the fireplaces of neighboring rooms share one chimney. Is that what you're implying? Dun dun dun. Precisely. Hey, old bag. Is this your undershirt? If you could please take a look at this brown-colored undershirt. Oh, Edgy-Poo, what is the meaning of this? Why'd you steal that thing from my bags? All you had to do was ask, and I would have gladly given you as many as you'd like. Thanks, but no thanks. The shirt was found here at this crime scene. What? Come now. Why don't you just confess, and explain what it's doing here? I know nothing, nothing, I tell you! What? Oh, I admit that I used the fireplace to dry that shirt. But I can't really help the fact that I had to, you know? Wearing that pink shirt costume was like being in a sauna! And on top of that, I get fingers of the suspect? You're too cruel, Edgy Poo. Are you claiming that you never once set foot inside this room? Of course I am. If I had been the one to find the body, do you think I'd be as calm and relaxed as I am now? I tell you, it's always like this. It's always my fault that some week I went to tabloid articles missing, the camera missing, the other to make sure they're missing. Speaking of missing, there's the woman we got married, so I guess he's stuck marrying you. What kind of proposal is that? What should you have done? Whispered in my ear to deserve you, but I can't help. Will you marry me? Honestly, men these days. Well, I don't believe she's lying about her actions, so I can safely assume she was drying her shirt in the fireplace on her break. And somehow the undershirt managed to move from the next room into this one. The connected chimney! It's almost like those are the only two logic points we have. I assume the samurai dog was also yours? Ah, that brilliant mind of yours. You really can see through everything about me. And so the feeling of dread continues, but I suppose I should ask for more details. That samurai dog was yours, wasn't it? Oh, of course I'm forever yours, Edgy Wedgy Poo. If you could just stick to what I asked you. Edgy, are you and Miss Oldegg? No. You really don't change, do you? When will you learn how to take a joke? Anyway, that samurai dog wasn't mine. Those things are a present from the studio to the embassy. A present? The studio bigwigs basically told us to play the Liberty Boys. We were supposed to hand the dogs off to the embassy people and tell them hi. I had to pile them all into the pushcart just to move them all. Those studio guys should deliver those things by themselves, right, Edgy? So did you deliver the samurai dogs to the embassy staff as per your instructions? Hey Edgy, don't just ignore me and my question. Aren't you gonna stick up for me? Ah, about that. See, after the show I went to rest a spell in the dressing room. Because of my bad hip, you know. And there they were, the samurai dogs were just sitting on the dressing room floor. I suppose you had to make preparations for distributing them after the show. Well, if by preparation you mean sampling them as well. Excuse me? Oh, I tried one of them and thought they were actually quite good. Sorry, but I just had to find out. I know it was silly of me to think this, but I figured that since they're for a kids show, their taste was probably for kids too. But they were so good that I couldn't stop. Before I went back to my room, I just had to help myself to half a dozen or so boxes. As I sat there by the roaring fire, warming them and eating them, I thought, ah, this is... what is it now? Oh, I know, I bet you want a box too, don't you, Edgy Poo? Well, who am I to say no to you? But I'll only give you one, the rest are all for me. Samurai dogs forced onto me. Looks like the lesson for today is that when the Steel Samurai and the Pink Princess take off their masks, they transform into a pair of annoying troublemakers. The lady's undershirt that Missile found. Ah! Why are you getting all excited over holding onto a lady's undergarment? Miles Edgeworth, you undercouth sea slug. If you know the owner of said undershirt, then hurry up and return it to her already. You have it all wrong, this is evidence. And the owner of this piece of evidence was in the room next door. And yet despite that, Missile found it in the fireplace of this room. This lady's undershirt. Are you seriously claiming that it somehow passed through a solid brick wall? Not quite. The fireplace in this room is connected to a chimney. The other fireplace in the other room is also connected to the same chimney, leading us to the possibility that the two fireplaces are connected to each other. Perhaps a closer look at the back of the fireplace is in order. The back of the fireplace? Why? There is an X on the back of the wall of the fireplace. Let's see if I can't get a better look at it. What in the... The wall separates this room's fireplace from the next room's fireplace. Apparently turns. As I suspected, this fireplace doesn't need to connect to the room to the neighboring room. The neighboring room? There appears to be nothing particular about the next room. Peculiar. But the fact that there's nothing special about the next room isn't what's important. It's the fact that there is a secret passageway through this room's fireplace. We know now that the fireplace connects to two rooms. But how exactly is it significant? You aren't going to suddenly name the old lady as Damask 2's killer now, are you? No, she couldn't move at all because of her stiff hip. So she could not have been the one. Unfortunately, I believe that this fireplace has nothing whatsoever to do with Damask 2's murder. It would appear that the answer has made itself known. You're making quite a confident face there, Mr. Prosecutor. Bring it on. I'm ready to counter any argument you may have. Very well then, if you're prepared. I'll show you exactly where my deductions have led me. Good, I'm counting on you, Edgy. Leave it to me, Larry. My first attack will be to expose your lie for what it really is. My lie? I know that there's still something you're keeping from the rest of us. What's wrong with you? Why is it you won't believe me no matter what I say, Edgy? Curse you. I should just hurry up and die already if that's how it's gonna be. I'll confess to every murder in the whole world, and then kill myself, and throw everything into vast confusion. And you made some wonderful friends as a child, I see. Larry, I only have one thing to say to you. Even if you make that face at me, it's no use. A man who's ready to die is strong-willed, you know. Larry, it doesn't matter what sort of heartbreak trouble you've caused. I only ask that you do not lie to me. If you cause an innocent person to be judged unfairly because of some instinctive lie, I will never forgive you. Edgy. Although, allow me to say that I consider you to be among the innocent in this case, and that I will draw the real killer out. You can trust me on this. Alright, this time I'll tell you the whole truth, okay? What happened, what didn't happen, the works. Just what happened will do. Now then, if you would please testify as to what you did up on the roof tonight. After the show, I left the pushcart in the rose garden and came into the embassy. Then they took a picture of me shaking hands with the ambassador. After that, and until my next appearance, I had some free time, so I wandered around. That's when I spotted the chimney. A chimney like that is a rare thing, you know. So then I wanted to play Santa and decided to give it a try. Larry, I thought I just finished telling you not to lie anymore. But it's kind of ultra embarrassing. And what exactly is so ultra embarrassing that you can't tell me? Edgy, man, I just said it was embarrassing, so of course I can't just blurt it out. So you're just gonna have to reason it out of me. As your superior, I command you to hurry up and expose this man's lie. I have every intention to, for not about to let us waste time on such a trifling matter. What did he lie about? What? Didn't the pushcart have all the things on it, though? No, okay. You left the pushcart? Could you please clarify that statement for me? Yeah, so the wheels on the pushcart got covered in dirt from the rose garden. It would have made a mess of the floor inside, so Ambassador Alba said to just leave it. Well, it would be rather in-place to dirty another country's embassy. Come to think of it, I recall seeing the Pink Princess on my way into the embassy. And what was she doing? Nothing in particular. She was being carried by some docs on a stretcher. She must have been incapacitated by the pain of her bad hip that she suffered during the show. So I came into the embassy, right? And then they took a picture of me shaking hands with the ambassador. So you shook hands with the ambassador of the Kingdom of Valabas, did you? Yeah, can you believe it? I did something really cool for a change. But honestly speaking, there's nothing interesting about shaking someone's hand. Hey there, are you disrespecting another country in their very own embassy? As someone with roots in this country, I'm feeling nothing but incredible shame at this second. Agreed. I apologize for his inconsiderate words. Now Larry, please continue. What is with all of you? You keep saying that kind of thing and I'll tell you only lies. You're already telling us nothing but lies. Well, let's go through it and move on. Alright already, you don't need to glare at me like that, Edgy. Hold it. Hold it! Larry, I want you to listen very carefully and take this to heart. The whole point of your life is to cause misery and pain to everyone you get. Jesus. I know, I get it. I'm totally the bad guy again. I thought you were his friend. Don't you think that was a bit harsh? Lang Z says, true friends are bosom friends. If you're in trouble, call on your bosom friend whose shoulder you can truly cry on. Hey, bosom buddy, I hope you're listening carefully to my testimony. Has it crossed your pea-sized brain yet that Agent Lang is only out to arrest you, Larry? Now then, you were wandering around inside the MC, and then what happened? What? That's when I started the chimney, and she looked at the rare thing, you know. So then I wanted to play Santa and decided to give it a try. Well... But you didn't, though. It was smoking. I expected you to have something to hide there, but what could be so embarrassing you'd be willing to go to jail for it? This man's mind is a complete mystery to me. I believe it's a secret to everyone of a normal mindset how Larry's mind works. However, taking into account his usual women-obsessed way of thinking, I believe his lie this time is also related to a woman, and that is what I intend to prove. Oh, what? Oh... You suddenly wanted to play Santa? Oh, well actually, I dressed up as Santa once before already. That was down at Gourd Lake. Ugh. I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't dredge up such unnecessary memories for me. And it sounds like you guys share a lot of history. Perfect to being childhood friends, huh? Besides, it's not a felony to dress up and play Santa, you know. Santa doesn't go around killing people after he comes down a family's chimney, after all. Actually, is it worth delving into whether or not playing Santa is a big deal? Yes. Actually, I believe in the case of this man, playing Santa is actually quite a big deal. Are you saying that your buddy isn't exactly made of Santa-quality stuff? Precisely. You hit the nail on the head, Agent Lang. Hey, Edgy, that's so incredibly mean! Tell me something, Larry. Did you know that Santa's job is to deliver presents to people all over the world? Of course I know that. I did graduate from junior high, you know. In that case, it's your turn to tell me something. How about you tell me to whom you were delivering a present to? I was, delivering a present to a child, not basking in the glow of love? That must be the most elegant description of you I'll ever heard, but a lie is still a lie. You sure know how to kick a guy when he's down, you know that? In any case, the person you wish to deliver a present unto was most certainly this. I mean, it was Old Bag, but it wasn't, like, it wasn't actually Old Bag, it was... Why is her name just Ex-Security Lady? Her name's Old Bag. Heh, interesting taste you had there, Mr. Suspect. Don't spread lies about me. I totally didn't want to see Miss Old Bag so much that I tried to go down a chimney. Ow! I advise you to stop right there and you're bashing a lady. Well, I must admit that I myself hardly have ever wanted to run into that lady. However... What if you were misinformed and under the wrong impression? Then what? Define wrong impression. I simply mean that the man before you thought to enter the old lady's room, without knowing one very important fact. And that fact is the best summed up with this. Well, it's the... This is something the old lady received from her employer for the night. The girl who normally plays the Pink Princess. Mindy, was it again? It seems that this man is quite taken with that actress. But that's not true, Edgy. She's the one with the hots for me. I just know it. I can feel her sexy beam piercing my heart when she's watching me. Sexy beam, I tell you. You filthy, despicable, and considered a fickle, idiotic, cowardly apparition of a man. You haven't matured at all since we last met. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor. Yes? This guy, he's got bigger problems than just getting involved in murders, I take it. I suppose you could put it that way. Hey, what the heck, man? I don't get you guys at all. Why do you also make me out to be some sort of bad guy? To return to the original topic, I propose that at least this much has been made clear. Without any knowledge that Miss Minnie had fallen ill, Larry tried to make his way into the Pink Princess's room. That much we know for sure. Hey, Edgy, looks like I've got the hang of this court thing now. Well, we're not in court at the moment. Shut up! I see what's going on here and it looks just like what you do in court. I guess old boy here still has something he'd like to say. Lang Z says, until the root of the tongue dries, one never knows the whole truth. You shouldn't form conclusions until everything is out in the open, which is why I'll listen. Alright, then get ready to listen to me defeat Edgy in a battle of wits. Larry, have you forgotten that I should lose? Your victory prize will be your arrest? Okay, Larry's assertion. So you think that all I wanted to do was go visit Mindy? Well, I dressed up as Santa and climbed up to the chimney, but the smoke was really thick. It was a case of mistaken identity, and that mistake may be too late for Made me late for the speech. Then to top it all off, I became a suspect in a murder. That's what you really meant. Why would I ever put myself through so much humiliation on purpose? Hey, someone say something! Larry, are you seriously trying to submit this not as a confession, but as a testimony? So what if I am? Is there something wrong with that? My claim is a claim, my claim. Do you have a problem with that? So it was you. You're my stalker. But I should warn you, it doesn't matter what kind of flattery you throw at me. I'm the devoted type of woman who's wholly focused on one man, and one man only. And as long as Eddie Pooh's alive, I can't just drop him and be unfaithful. No, I can't. Although earlier I was tempted by a tiny mind about that wolfman, but I just love my dear Eddie Pooh, which can best of my life, so I can really choose my beloved Eddie Pooh for the rest of the... Ah, I'm so inspired. You're such an inconsiderate, cowardly, idiotic, and all-around completely worthless man. I thought I heard something ominous, Mr. John, but perhaps it was just my imagination. I believe there's nothing further for me to prove at this point. What do you mean? Of course you still have something to prove. You still have to show some proof that I was trying to meet up with Mindy. Proof, you say? Remember, Edgy? Everything is evidence in court, right? You mean evidence is everything in court, Larry? But I understand your point. Yeah, see? I'm totally a pro at this now. Very well, if you wish to see the evidence. And let me show you the last piece of evidence you'll ever wish to see. Larry's assertion. Hold it. Hold it! Voice detection. It's crazy. Well, I have been saying that. After all, if not for that, what other reason did you whisk her down the chimney? You can't say that without any evidence. That's against the rules, Edgy. Yeah, thanks for keeping the prosecutor in line for me, Mr. Suspect. I have the evidence, and if you wish to see it that badly, I can introduce you to. Ah, but it's not going to keep them waiting, my subordinate. Hurry and show them already. Lies! All lies, Edgy. Well, if you wish to lie, then by all means, continue. Because I'm ready to expose your lie at the moment's notice. You won't get the better of me, now let's see. Okay, so we need evidence that he just wanted to go and visit Mindy. Oh. This says Mindy. It's just really horrendous handwriting. That's actually a really good joke. Larry, don't even think about denying that you have knowledge of this letter. Hey! Why are you showing that thing to me? Wendy, I'll be descending on you from above tonight. Your loving knight. Well, isn't that just romantic? But you weren't able to descend on her from above, were you, Mr. Loving Knight? Ah! I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't remember a thing. You can pretend to be ignorant all you'd like, but it's written right here. This letter proves that you were not out to meet the old lady, but rather that you were attempting to pay Miss Mindy a visit. Larry, I suggest you take up penmanship lessons. That is, if you ever wish to experience this level of embarrassment ever again. What the heck? What are you talking about? Speak English. You wrote Mindy so sloppily that it became Wendy to the average eye. Hey, stop picking on me. It's so embarrassing. There, isn't that what childhood friends are for? They're the best, aren't they? For punching. Then I'll have to wait until we're off the crime scene. Eek, Edgy, save me from the scary man. Sure, if you're willing to make amends, starting with your incredibly embarrassing mistake. That wasn't me. Come again? It's a fake. Somebody's up to get me, so they made that fake letter. To set me up. Accept your defeat graciously. But you guys are being so mean. Penmanship analysis. No matter who, all people have certain unique features to their handwriting. Ergo, we all have to do is compare the handwriting in this letter to a sample of yours. And we'll know soon enough who it was that sent this letter. I'll never write another thing in my life. It's no use, Mr. Loving Knight. But you've already graciously provided me with a sample of your handwriting. This autograph in our mysterious letter. If we compare the handwriting, we'll know the answer to our question soon enough. Confess now, Larry, to your miserable failure. I'm sorry. I did it. It was me causing trouble again. I admit it. You hit the nail right on the head, Edgy. So he finally confesses. I saw the pink princess being carried around in a stretcher and got worried, alright? I wanted to go into the middies room, but the doctors wouldn't let me in. So what choice did I have? It was the chimney or bust, Edgy. Your mind jumped from the door to the chimney? What a criminally overactive imagination. Well, at least I was honest and wrote Mindy a letter and stuck it under the door. That way she wouldn't be shocked when I came down through the chimney. Why were you dressed as Santa? Except the fact that the letter was an utter failure at conveying said sentiment. I'm really, really sorry. Larry, you may be a shameful, good-for-nothing blight on the face of humanity. However, I always knew you weren't the killer. I told you to trust me. Because at the very least, I can attest to that about you. Edgy, you're... Ah! We've lost a lot of valuable time because of you. How? In any case, I believe we can say now we know exactly what happened. Mr. Larry Butts sought to climb down the chimney. Not for access to the crime scene, but to enter the room of the elderly lady next door. Great job, Mrs. Prosecutor. Mr. Prosecutor. Although I still find it a bit unbelievable that the two are your friends. Wait, hang on, sorry. But the suspicion on that guy over there isn't completely resolved yet, so don't get any funny ideas about running off, okay? Ow. Hey, what? Edgy, what does the Wolfman mean when he says I'm not off the hook yet? He means the murder weapon. Larry, did you forget? There are 2 layers of suspicion hanging over your head. That's exactly what I mean. We can't only rely on the words of the suspect, after all. We may have figured out where he was and what he was doing all night. But the blood-stained samurai sword that was left at the crime scene. As long as there's no satisfactory explanation for that. This wolf will refuse to ease upon his bite. Eek! Edgy, that guy. He looks like he's seriously about to take a bite out of me. I'm well aware, and you should be as well, as this upcoming battle will be crucial. Thanks to the cooperation of our lovely bumbler, I've been dealt a very nice hand and a sweet trump card. Looks like we're about to enter the final bout. Now, Mr. Prosecutor, let's see what you've got. I can easily point out the contradictions in the supposed murder weapon. But the real problem for me is figuring out what the real murder weapon is. This will be a high-stakes gamble. But this is one game I can't afford to lose. Why Larry? I was looking to find the body of the victim to mass too. Beside him was the samurai sword, glittering red and offering up the scent of blood. It was supposed to be in the Steel Samurai's dressing room, but I found it here instead. Plus, I found the murder weapon's owner, the suspect Larry Butts, in here too. What? Did he not notice the fucking body? Isn't it a bit far-fetched to accuse somebody simply on the basis of ownership? But this owner wanted to sneak onto the crime scene. I think that's plenty to go on, don't you? If you're alluding to his reason for being by the chimney, we've already established that. Hold on there, Mr. Prosecutor. You two are longtime friends, right? Who's to say you didn't fabricate the evidence to give him an alibi? You're accusing me of fabricating evidence? What am I? That one guy from the 4th game? You think I can believe anything you produce? Forging evidence is all you prosecutors do. This man has some serious issues with prosecutors. But come on, I can't think of something as complicated as that, right, Edgy? Larry, I can agree because I know you and your personality well. However, Agent Lang knows nothing about you. Or me, for that matter. I sense his hatred for my entire profession, emancipating from his entire being. I mean, the only way I can prove Larry's innocence is to present irrefutable evidence. Obviously, we found the body of the victim. Just because he's the owner of the weapon, therefore he must be the killer, is it? No, climbing all the way up to the chimney is plenty suspicious in my books as well. Regarding that, I've already drawn the truth out, and the truth is one thing I don't bend. It doesn't matter if it's yours, you, or whoever, all prosecutors are the same. And if for me, prosecutors are the one thing I don't trust in. An agent who doesn't trust prosecutors? What are you playing at? Sorry, sis. But there are only two things I trust, my subordinates and evidence at the crime scene. Agent Lang hates prosecutors, but as long as he trusts evidence that has been left at the crime scene, and there is something I can show him that'll believe in. It's simply not possible that the samurai sword is the real murder weapon, so I should focus on proving that point to Agent Lang first. Oh, but his body, we don't have evidence for this, but his body was like hit with a blunt object. That's what we think anyways. But we have no reason that it isn't. Larry's already testified that he forgot the samurai sword here. Yeah, I was shaking hands with the ambassador in here and I left it behind by accident. So what, you lied earlier, so say that excuse isn't just another lie. Ref gets stuff all the time, right, Edgy? Tell him. Why don't you tell him yourself? You see? What did I tell you earlier? No one will buy such a pathetically weak excuse. Yes, well, I know that it's not possible to prove such an excuse as truth. And yet you offer it up as fact, you're a worse person than I originally thought. You're free to think what you'd like, however I know that Larry is not the killer. Agent Lang, please continue with your argument. I'll expose the flaw in it soon enough. Excuse me, but glittering red and offering up the scent of blood? Do I have to spell it out for you? I mean the sight and smell of blood, of course. And according to the test, the blood on the sword belongs to the victim. The sword was made to only be used on stage, so it's not sharp. But it is pretty weighty. It's certainly heavy enough to beat someone to death, but oh, okay. That makes much more sense. Yeah, we realized that earlier. Beaten to death, huh? This last statement is too important to just let it slip by. I suspect he beat the victim to death with the thing. Yeah, but it was hollow, wasn't it? Like, so was the spear, so I'm assuming the sword was also. Oh wait, no, that was dumb. Hang on. I need to present the spear, not that. Do you know what this is, Agent Lang? It's a long spear, right? We used to use those a lot in my country a long time ago. Piercing, mowing people down. Spears are the weapon of heroes throughout history. It's the next most effective weapon after the whip. I think the whip is in a slightly different category. So what's your point? Are you going to tell me that the spear is the real weapon? No, I simply wanted to take a look at this section here. The way it's bent. Precisely. Apparently, a certain troublemaker hit it against the wall in this embassy earlier. And as you can clearly see, the inside of the Steel Samurai's weapons are hollow. In other words, they're replicas that aren't strong enough to deliver a damaging blow. Let alone the multiple strikes necessary to bludgeon someone to death. And yet there was not even a dent in the samurai sword. How do you explain that? Ah, yeah. Oh yeah. The sword and the spear are made of the same stuff, so they bend easily. But I wish they picked about a better stuff, because the spear got bent. I wasn't able to do my special early summer rain jab move. Man, I got such an earful from the director of the play for not doing it in the show. The Steel Samurai's special move was changed tonight because of him? Youch! That's more than enough of your whiny whimpering. Now, back on the topic of the spear. Yes, let's return to the real topic of discussion. This is where the real gamble begins. I don't have a real strategy per se. All I can do for now is let the chips fall where they may. Using guesswork and taking risks in place of real logic is hardly the Von Karma way. It's neither smart nor very clever. Miss Von Karma, as you know, unlike your father, I am not a genius prosecutor. Plus, I doubt his record of a 40-year win streak will ever be broken. But perhaps it's for the best if it remains unbroken. For no one should have conceived of the notion to convict all defendants in the first place. What a foolishly foolish statement from a foolish fool who hates to lose. It's the job of a prosecutor to make sure that all defendants are found guilty in court. There's nothing more important in this world than a perfect victory. That may be your opinion, however, I don't believe that's all we are. As a prosecutor, what I pursue is not the perfect victory, but the perfect truth. And if that means that the bridge I must cross will crumble beneath my feet, then let it crumble as I walk towards the truth. You're good at keeping me entertained, Mr. Prosecutor. But you know, humans are delicate creatures. The slightest bump and we expire. I'd like you to consider, if you will, the possibility that the sword was used in such a way that the attack killed Damask II without bending it. What? So what do you think of my hypothetical scenario? I think you know what to do here, right? And what you need. Of course. What I need is evidence even Agent Lang can't This is it, it's time to bring this to a close. Alright. It's possible to use the samurai sword to kill somebody. And under these circumstances, it's the only logical conclusion. We searched the embassy top to bottom, but the victim's blood is only on that weapon. So isn't it only natural the suspicion would fall on the owner of said weapon? How long do you intend to cling on to that preposterous theory? As long as I want, because we examined every corner within the walls of this embassy. There's no stone we left unturned. And we have managed to come up with only one logical conclusion. That the only place inside the embassy with the victim's blood on it is this sword. You left no stone unturned? Is that a fact? If you've got something to say, then say it in the only way I respect, Mr. Prosecutor. Yes, of course. In that case, allow me to make it all crystal clear for you. The victim's blood is only on that weapon. No, damn it. Okay, I didn't mean to do that, but... And what if you were to find a different murder weapon? Would that clear Larry's name? Are you saying you can prove the possibility? Of course. And if you don't believe that, I can. I'll show you something to convince you, evidence that you can't refute. Sounds like fun, Mr. Prosecutor. Alright, then go ahead and show me what you got. I can prove to you the possibility that the murder weapon is something else. But I cannot do so on my strength alone. Miles Edgeworth, what are you running straight into a quagmire for? I thought you said that you were busy in the pursuit of the perfect truth. And if that's the case, then show me this perfect truth if it exists at all. Don't worry, thanks to you, I've already prepared myself to do just that. There's no need to thank me. I'm simply doing what any good superior would. Heh, I suppose you are. Very well then, I'll show you the possibility of a different murder weapon. What? The only place we could find blood was on the samurai sword? That's right, you Luminol. Which means that there are no other possibilities outside of what I've already outlined. Do I have a problem with Edgerling's assertion that the samurai sword is the weapon? If you believe that there is no other door or possibility left open, then allow me to force one open for you. And how do you plan to do that? By showing you what may possibly be the real murder weapon. The real murder weapon? I hate to repeat myself. But my men have already searched every last inch of the embassy, and they've concluded that nothing else could have been used as the weapon. Knowing these facts, do you still want to press forward with your little hypothesis? Of course, because it's not possible your men inspected everything in their investigation. What are you talking about? I don't appreciate mind games, and I don't appreciate when people like you slander my men. Sorry, 1 second. Google Maps randomly just starts showing me stuff in miles sometimes, and I really don't understand why. Okay, anyways. I'm not slandering them, I assure you. I'm merely pointing out that their investigative dragnet has a few holes in it. Namely, that there is something your men couldn't even lay a finger on. And that item is the real murder weapon. Alright then, I'll play along for now. This real weapon that killed Damask 2, what exactly is it? Nobody could touch the stat. Oh wait, no, it's not that one. It's this one. The National Treasure of Alabast. You mean the Primadux statue? Yes, and as you know, only an ambassador and his secretariat may touch it. Which I believe means that neither you nor your men were able to examine it, correct? Ha 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 ha. You know very well that if we did that, there'd be an international incident between the Kingdom of Alabast and the Republic of Babal. The two countries' precarious relationship teeters in the balance over a stupid fight related to sovereignty statue. But I'll be damned if I let something go unexamined. Agent Lang, if you could take a look at this. The direction the statue is facing just before and after the crime are different. And there's only one conclusion I can draw from that. Go look for Ambassador Album and tell us to get him to give us the okay to examine the statue. Shifu, you can't listen to this infidel's words. He's most definitely trying to trick you. Shifu, please don't. Let's be rational about this. Grr. Lang Zi says. Just go already. Yes, sir. Shifu. Yeah? I'm really sorry, sir, but I was unable to convince the ambassador. I was unable to obtain permission for us to examine the Primitive statue. I see. Wait, but then the investigation is at a standstill. Agent Lang, I'll go and speak with the ambassador personally. Save your breath. He may act all weak and frail, but that old man's one tough cookie. But I guess you gotta be tough when you're representing the whole country, you know? Agent Lang? What do you want? Let's just hurry up and examine the statue already. But Shifu, what about causing an international incident? Quiet. I'll take the fall if I have to later. Agent Lang, the hypothesis is mine, so if someone is to take the responsibility, let it be me. Responsibility? If we're gonna talk in such heavy terms, maybe I should let you. It'd be a real problem for my men if something were to happen to me. Alright then. Less talk and more investigating. If we want to know the truth, we can't stop here. Action must be taken. Agent Lang, I'd like to run a luminol... Jesus fucking Christ. A luminol chemiluminescence test on the statue. A luminol test? Ah, good thinking. The statue is the murder weapon, and some of the victim's blood should be on it. Okay, let's get the forensics team in here. Whoa! Looks like you hit the jackpot, Mr. Prosecutor. I guess that means that this is the real weapon that killed the mask too. Indeed. But I wouldn't celebrate yet if I were you. This doesn't let your friend off the hook. It doesn't prove that he didn't kill the mask too, so the charge remains. We are hardly done examining the statue, Agent Lang. Knowing that it is the real weapon, I believe further examination is required. You think so? Okay, then knock yourself out. Well, we need... Okay, we should look for, like, fingerprints or something? I don't know. Okay, so there's... Oh, yeah, right? There we go, plain as day. Yeah. And what do we have here? This dirty smudge? It looks like a handprint. What's the definitive bit of evidence like you doing under here? Looks like we got some fingerprints to analyze. Worst case scenario, these prints belong to Larry. But it looks like it's too late for me to do anything about that now. Hey, forensics guy, I want results on these fingerprints ASAP, you hear me? Agent Lang, I have the analysis results, sir. Good, and? Sir, about the prints we lifted from the bottom of the statue. Well, you know the victim of the murder in the Babalese embassy? Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. The prints belong to him, to Mr. Manny Kochin, sir. But that's... What's going on around here? No, that's impossible. Each Primoduck statue can only be handled by someone of the country. But the very fact that Mr. Kochin's fingerprints are on this one, it leads me to only one conclusion. This statue is actually Babal's Primoduck statue. Impossible, it can't be. Yeah! Larry never once set foot on Babalese soil, so he was free to go. However, this new piece of information will serve to confuse us even further. The ringleader of a smuggling operation was killed with an Abyssinian knife in Babal. And Damask too was killed on Abyssinian soil with Babal's national treasure. And the mystery of the great thief Yatagarasu had visited both countries. The pieces were there, but I'd yet to see the big picture they were to form. Christ. Okay, well, thank you for watching. Hey, ho ho ho. Ho ho ho. You know, that's me imitating Santa Claus, similar to how Larry was imitating Santa Claus in the game.